So, good evening, everyone. My name is Maurya Hanspal, and in this session, we're going to talk about financial modeling. So, this is our first session on financial modeling. Now, this is going to be a very brief session on the concept of financial modeling, that what exactly is financial modeling and why is financial modeling so important from the management's point of view. Okay, so first of all, I would like to talk about one thing. There is a lot of panic and a lot of, like, what do we say, like, fear among people, like when they hear about the term of financial modeling, right? And a large number of students in their graduation times, like whether they are doing like their BBA or BCom, or even at the time of MBA, and even at the time when those people are pursuing their jobs, they opt for a large number of courses on financial modeling. And not just one course, they opt for more than one courses, પાંચ courses, 6 courses, because everyone is offering you a quite different content, right? And because of this, a lot of people are still scared that whether, like, basically, if they try to shift like from one company to another, then will that skill of financial modeling help them or not, like which they have learned in their previous course. But later, like when they find out that some new things are happening on Excel and some complicated stuff is being done on Excel, then they shift towards a new course. Then they shift towards a new course. So they start doing a large number of courses. 5-6 courses बहुत आराम से कर लेते हैं. Because those people are afraid of the skills that they are learning from the first course of financial modeling. And people think, see, the one thing is that financial modeling would be done on Excel. Okay, because Excel is the lender of last resort, as we call in banking. Excel पर ही financial modeling होगी. And a large number of, like, interesting advertisements and portrayals are being made on financial modeling. Ki, like, we'll teach you that, we'll teach you that, we'll teach you that. And large number of advanced graphics and formulas are being shown on financial modeling. So one thing, I would like to be very clear on this aspect, that financial modeling is not a very complicated or difficult task. Okay. Whatever you people do on Excel, because Excel is the most trendy software, so that is used for the purpose of financial modeling. Whatever you use or whatever you do on Excel, it's a financial model or it's a model. Because modeling can be in case of anything. It can be in terms of a financial model, it can be a marketing model, it can be an HR model, it can be an operational model, or any other kind of model. Whereas people look at only in the context of a financial model. Ki financial modeling is the concept of the people only in finance and no other people can do it. Anything that you are working on Excel पे छोटा सा भी काम कर रहे हो, you are trying to make your budget. Like, you get your monthly salary, and from your salary you are trying to allocate ki how much you have to save, how much you have to spend on your expenses. Okay, and you are portraying it in the form of an Excel, like a basic Excel. जैसे मान लो कि यहाँ पे, like, this is the Excel sheet. Okay, so I'm presenting my Excel sheet. एक simple model. मान लो, like, if someone got a salary of like 50,000 like per month. Okay, then out of that, like, this is the amount of salary. So just a basic example. Okay, now out of this, the person has to think that how much has to go for the purpose of expenses. Like, maybe that person thought that the purpose of expenses would be like 45,000 per month. Okay, so then we found out his saving, that how much has the person saved. So, like, what did we do? We did the salary, and salary is basically your income. Income minus your expenses. That is basically income minus your expenses that you are getting here. Okay. Yeah. It's 5,000 rupees. That is 50,000 minus 45,000. You get 5,000 rupees. If this is created in terms of a model, that is with allocating your expenses. If we further enhance this model and we write his salary is like 50,000, and we further bifurcate the expenses, ki like 10,000 has gone for rent, 15,000 has gone for the grocery purposes, like itna like मान लो कि 30% of the amount has gone for the EMIs, like maybe you have taken loans, a car loan, home loan, or personal loan. So basically the income that you got in the form of your salary, right? Basically your income or your revenue that you got in the form of your salary. usko you are bifurcating in the form of the expenses. That 30% has gone for EMI, 20% has gone for rent, rest 50% has gone for the grocery purchasing, and some has gone for some luxury expenses and all that stuff. And at the end, like, you were able to save 5,000 rupees. So if you are just bifurcating your expenses and trying to enhance your budget, that becomes a financial model. It doesn't mean that you need to have complex financial valuations, that you need to talk about the companies only on Excel. The company ka you are calculating the P&L and you are comparing the P&L and you are making some future projections and you are having some past data, and on the basis of the past data, you are trying to make that future projection. Though it is a financial model, but that is not only a financial model like present in this entire world. Anything that you do on Excel, you are making your budget, it's a financial model. You are calculating how much expenses you are making on different items per se your revenues, that is a financial model. Obviously, when you are calculating the P&L and projecting the future P&L of the company, you're trying to project the future balance sheet of the company or the cash flow statement or ultimately any kind of projection that you're making for a company, that's a financial model. Agreed. And that is how this concept is portrayed. That financial modeling is very complex. It is done only from the point of view of the companies. They work on balance sheet, they work on P&Ls and XYZ things. No, it's not the right thing. Anything that you do on Excel, maybe you are preparing a marketing budget, that you are like just gauging at how many sales you're gonna make in future and how many sales of that product were made in the past. And on the basis of that past data, you are trying to predict the future. So that's a marketing model. And all these things are done on Excel only. You have certain data, you have the sales of products, and you get to know that is that product being like best for the company or not. And if the sales of that product are the least and that product is not contributing to the larger share of revenue for the company, so that product can be discarded, and some other product which can be included, like uh, in the place of that which has been discarded, so that can give you a huge revenue. So that analysis we can make on the basis of marketing model. Even marketing analytics, like you are trying to predict that how many people have come to your page. Like a large number of people have their Instagram channels and YouTube channels. Okay, so how many people have gone to that YouTube video? How many people have liked the YouTube video? How many people have gone to that page? How many community interactions has been there? So preparing a report for that, that's a digital marketing model. Again, if you are trying to have like trying to have the techniques of Six Sigma, or you are trying to improve the cost of production, that you are trying to reduce the cost of production and maximize the quality, and reducing the lead times, reducing the transportation time, enhancing the quality of product, and you are trying to portray it on Excel कि एक मतलब कि प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में कितना टाइम लगा, उसको प्रोसेस होने में कितना टाइम लगा, then final consumer तक पहुंचने में कितना टाइम लगा. If all these things you are doing, that's again a financial model in terms of operations. Talking about HR. So what is the main purpose of HR? The main purpose of HR is to devise the basically the compensation packages. That how much has been to be given as basic salary, how much has to be given as HRA, your DA, your gross salary and net salary. The purpose of HR, like the basic purpose of HR in terms of basically the monetary aspects I'm talking about. So the one thing is Excel helps you in calculating stuff which are monetary. ठीक है. तो मॉडलिंग लाइक व्हेन यू आर डूइंग ऑन एक्सेल, तो एक चीज का तो ध्यान रखना कि ऑल फाइनेंशियल थिंग्स आर लाइक टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन. ओके, बिकॉज एचआर के टर्म्स में क्या होता है, एचआर इज आल्सो इनटू लाइक डिवाइसिंग द कॉम्पेंसेशन पैकेजेस, and HR is also into terms of the qualitative programs, that is for the welfare mechanisms and all that stuff, right? So when the HR is computing the salary कि past में कितनी salary रही है, how much the salary has to grow per year or per month, या जो भी होता है कि 10% increment on the basis of inflation, so that can also be done on Excel. And again, it becomes an HR analytics model. Okay, so financial modeling, so basically modeling, not financial modeling. Modeling can be in terms of anything. It can be a financial model, It can be a marketing model, it can be an operational model, it can be an HR model. Okay, so all these things can be done in case of a modeling. So don't be like very afraid or be like panic कि पता नहीं मतलब कि फाइनेंशियल मॉडलिंग में क्या होता है and कुछ एक्स्ट्रा कराते हैं and something new is there in financial modeling. Obviously you're gonna learn a lot in the course of financial modeling, but it is not only that thing. जो भी चीजें तुम एक्सेल पर कर रहे हो, the thing you start doing your work on excel and कुछ भी तुम एक्सेल पर कर रहे हो, that becomes a financial model. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, so isme we gave an example, so that was particularly like related to finance, and I gave the examples ki finance ki terms में you can make and marketing भी, HR भी, operations भी, ठीक है. So in this sessions, like we'll try to work on the concept of financial modeling, ठीक है. Since the session has been tagged as financial modeling, so our focus will be more on the concept of financial modeling. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to project the future, and also we're gonna try to have some interpretations on the basis of the data that we have. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do in financial modeling. So if we go particularly in the field of finance, and you might have seen a large amount of financial models talking about the balance sheet of the company, which is also called the position statement, talking about the profit and loss statement, which is also called the income statement, or talking about the cash flow statements. So those people have the whole P&L of the company or the balance sheet of the company like on the sheet of Excel. And on the basis of numbers which comprise the balance sheet, because balance sheet like would be having assets, liabilities, and ये सब चीजें होंगी. And similarly, the P&L statement would be having your expenses, your revenues, and profitability. So they just try to play with those numbers, and they try to calculate the percentage changes like which have happened over the past year, and they try to predict the future as well. Okay, so that is the main purpose of financial modeling from the purview of finance. That when we are working on the balance sheet of the company or the P&L statement of the company or the cash flow statement of the company, you can make certain interpretations on the basis of the past performances. Okay, so certain interpretations can be done on the basis of the past performances कि past में क्या हुआ है. Okay, and certainly on the basis of the past performance you can project a future return as well. मान लो कि like हमारे पास 5 साल का डेटा है कंपनी का, because if you want to analyze a company, you cannot analyze a company on the basis of a single year. You have to take past data, like minimum 5 years, and on the basis of that 5 years you can calculate the average growth of the company and by how much rate the company can grow in future. मान लो कि 5 ईयर की प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी हमारे पास है, so we can, so like if like someone asks us what has been the average profitability of the company, then how can we tell that person on the basis of a single year figure? We'll have to take the average of past 5 years or 10 years and tell that person the average company का growth इतना हुआ है, right? So we'll be doing the same thing with the P&L, with the profit and loss. तो पहले हम क्या करेंगे? The first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna copy the profit and loss statement of a listed company on Excel. Okay, so now let's see that how do we copy the profit and loss statement of a listed company on Excel. So for that we can go to Google and we can type, and we can go like any of the company that you want, and you can go to moneycontrol.com, and when you go to moneycontrol.com you already get the data of past 5 years. Okay, of like मतलब कि whatever company like you want to have. So in this case I took my target company as Tata Motors. So now I'm gonna copy all this, that is starting from this profit and loss heading to going to the profit and loss for the period, because that is the data that we want. So I'll be pressing Control C, and then I'll be going on Excel, and now I have to like copy paste this data. So I can paste it, or I can go to paste special even, or I can just paste it, or like paste special, because I clicked on paste special. You people can go to paste special. You can increase the size like so that all these things are completely visible. Okay, so now we have the profit and loss statement copied. Okay, so the profit and loss statement, and it is quite easy to copy the profit and loss statement. Okay, what happens when you are trying to copy it from the annual report of the company? बिकॉज जहाँ पे तो हमको नंबर्स मिल गए एंड डायरेक्टली वी कॉपी पेस्टेड इट, ठीक है, because numbers were available here. So what happens in the annual report? The annual report is in the form of a PDF of a company, okay, and it is very difficult to copy paste that particular report into the Excel sheet. तो वहां पे क्या करना, like just select the whole data like as we did in the same way. So यहाँ पे like when you copy something, ठीक है, तो वहां पे जब तुम कंट्रोल सी करोगे एंड जब पेस्ट करोगे, तो जब पेस्ट स्पेशल करोगे, so when you go to the option of paste special, it is the option of values here, right? So always click on this value, and that is why like I was saying you, instead of always going to paste, because सिर्फ paste करोगे तो problem हो सकता है कि सारा डेटा एक ही सेल में आ जाए, बट ऑब्वियसली वी वांट द डेटा फॉर डिफरेंट सेल्स. अगर 2021 का जो डेटा हमें यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, अगर इसके साथ 20, 19, 18, 17 सब एक साथ गुचड़ मुचड़ हो जाएगा, राइट? सो वन थिंग वी कैन डू, ऑलवेज डू पेस्ट एज वैल्यूज. तो जब भी तुम पेस्ट एज वैल्यूज करोगे, योर डेटा वुड बी इन द सिंक्रोनाइज्ड मैनर एंड द डेटा वुड बी एग्जैक्टली इन द सेम मैनर एज यू टुक इट फ्रॉम द सोर्स. ठीक है, तो पेस्ट एज वैल्यूज करना हमेशा. ठीक है, तो लेट्स इग्नोर इट एज फॉर नाउ. ठीक है, ये कुछ नहीं है इसका नीड. अब या अब नाउ ऑब्वियसली वी वांट द डेटा इन एन इंक्रीजिंग मैनर, राइट? बस यहाँ पे लाइक अगर हम डेटा देख रहे हैं तो 21 का पहले है, देन 20 है, देन 19, देन 18 एंड देन 17. If we could have the data कि 17 पहले, then 18, then 19, then 20, so it could have been good. Because even if you are trying to project the year of 2022, so we'll be like projecting the year on the right hand side, right? हम left hand side पे तो कर नहीं सकते, because on left hand side we have this data. So like what we need to do, we can interchange the columns. हम columns को like shift कर सकते हैं. And shift कैसे कर सकते हैं? Just click on this F column के top पे जाओ, इस सेल पर मत जाना, इस F पे क्लिक करना. So when you click on this F and go to any of this border line, like you have this green border, ठीक है, in a big rectangular shape. तो border line पर जब click करोगे, like you will have this sign of like shifting positions. Okay, click on this and try to drag it. It says already you have a data or you want to replace it. No, like we do not want to replace it. So one thing you can do, click here. You can drag this 21 here. What you can do again, you can drag this 22 here. Again, click here. You can drag this 19 here, like if you want. So accordingly, the basis as you drag, because first you want 17, okay? I'll just press, because after 17, like we want 18, right? I'll be just dragging 18 here. Then we can click again on the top of the, and remember to click on the top, like on this alphabet and not on the cell. अगर cell पे click करोगे तो drag नहीं होगा. Then again on 19 we had it. Then we can again we have this. We can drag it here. We can increase the size because hash तब आता है जब cell का size कम होता है and data ज़्यादा होता है. Again we can drag it, है ना? And what further we can do? अगर आपको डेटा को पास लाना है तो इन सब सेल्स को करो सेलेक्ट एंड प्रेस कंट्रोल माइनस. तो जब कंट्रोल माइनस प्रेस करोगे तो डेटा यहाँ पे आ जाएगा सारा शिफ्ट होके. ठीक है, तो मैंने लाइक वो भी सेलेक्ट कर लिया था गलती से. तो जो एम्प्टी सेल्स हैं वी कैन जस्ट सेलेक्ट देम. एंड हाउ टू सेलेक्ट द एम्प्टी सेल्स ऑल टुगेदर, प्रेस योर फिंगर ऑन कंट्रोल की एंड कंट्रोल की से डू नॉट रिमूव योर फिंगर, एंड उसको प्रेस करते हुए ही click on this B, then C, then D, then E. And if you want to cut all these cells to have this data like closer to these values, either you can just right click and press on cut, or the shortcut is control minus. Control then minus. Okay, so either like you can do this. यहाँ click करा, यहाँ click करा, यहाँ click करा. Either you can do control minus, press here and go to cut. Single digit range cannot. Okay, so we have selected this range. Control minus you can do. In this way it will go. Okay, so either do control minus or do cut, and make sure that when you are selecting these columns, so what mistake that we did, like when we were selecting these columns we had like one item selected in cell E7 as well. तो अगर ये selected होगा तो एक साथ cut नहीं होगा, because like whenever you click on the top now, the whole column gets selected, and this will go on to the last cell. Excel sheet, अगर तुम नीचे भी चले जाओगे तुम Excel sheet पे, the last most cell of the Excel. Okay. So this is how we have copied the data and we have tried to like rearrange the data in a sidewards manner. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So now in the next session, we'll be trying to have our interpretations on this PNL statement with the